Hello, welcome back to Planet Coaster. And again, we are in Stalevar. I know it has been a while, but here we are again. Um, I'm here with Sylv,
Hello, everybody.
and also Rudi's here.
Hello.
Yeah, we maybe should tell people why we are a little bit behind on schedule.
Yeah, I think maybe I should mostly explain this one because a long time ago, and God, this is a longer time than it should have been, and than I can even remember. The idea was to just let me have the file and let me work on it,
Mm.
and I simply haven't. And there was just too much other stuff going on, too many either travels to other places and then Planet Zoo being released, and I have to be very honest, I just wanted to play some Planet Zoo instead. So operateur finally stepped up and was like, if
Yeah,
you're not gonna do anything, I'm gonna take this thing and work on
kind
it.
of like that, yeah. But yeah, to be
Yeah.
honest, Planet Zoo is also something I'm starting and I do understand after 3 years was maybe time for something new.
Yeah. And it was also kind of, well, not unfortunate. I was definitely the opposite, but there was also in the middle of the time where we've been invited to Gamescom and also the beta and stuff that came up. And, these kind of things came into our planned schedule, which was a little bit harder to somehow plan for us together than we thought, because it was all a bit more spontaneous and stuff. So I think that's also a fair point to not blame you completely, Sylv. It was more or less like coincidence, and then also everyone should have their holidays as well. Even though I must say Mr. Sylv just did go to a lot of great places, and I'm just jealous. So I just want to figure that again. But no, seriously, I just want to say I'm very happy that we finally made it here again. I don't know, I just love seeing it right now, how you just enabled your skills again to be in the game and to be in Planet Coaster again. Just it's a lot of fun seeing it at the moment. It kind of breaks the mood of Planet Zoo, at least for a small moment in time.
Right,
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
And I mean, personally, I'm still more of a theme park enthusiast than I am a zoo enthusiast, and probably will ever be. So this is still my main kind of hobby and interest and nerdy little niche. So I don't want to leave it here for sure. And I have gotten a lot of questions lately, and I'm sure you guys have too, from people asking whether Stalevar is going to continue and even be finished. And
Yeah.
I don't want to leave this thing having. Oh my god! If I can speak for a second, it's late. Please bear that in mind as we're recording this at like midnight. I don't want to, leave this thing hanging. So yeah.
No, totally.
Yeah,
I do have to agree. I definitely want to take my hands on it as well in the future again. And I must say, now, as we are in, I think, 2.5 weeks, right, of Planet Zoo, it kind of is, I don't want to say the initial hype is gone, not at all, but it's for me, I'm getting more used to it at the moment, even though there is so much more in there to kind of experience. However, I must say that I already get this little bit of feeling, Planet Coaster. I don't know. I could do something, And this is, I think, also because I like theme parks a lot. I don't want to say as you did, Sylv. I'm not more of an enthusiast. I both like them a lot because of the idea of creating a park and creating this kind of, how is this even called? Is there like an overarching expression for that? Because it's definitely, a zoo is not a park in that kind of sense, but the idea how you shape these things with all the points of interest and stuff are somewhat similar. So I really am a big fan of these kind of excursion areas, I want to say, or like kind of a free time activity park areas. I don't know. It's whatever. But
I guess they both sort of fit within the amusement industry umbrella. When you look at the industry, that's generally what they fall under. But I guess leisure or leisure, depending which part of the world you're from, areas or parks could both fit, because at the end of the day, zoo is just an abbreviation of zoological gardens, which is kind of like a park as well.
Yeah, so
go on.
That's still what I love, and I just must add, and this is okay. Maybe I'm putting too much hope into it, but the announcement of Planet Coaster being released for console gives me hope, at least, that one of the major things why I stepped away from Planco lately a little bit, even before Planet Zoo, was performance. And when there's one thing that you need to do for a console version, is you definitely need to improve performance. I don't even know how to do it, and I must say I don't care as long as this works. And I have high hopes because of what they did with Jurassic World Evolution. So yeah, maybe that's one of the most positive things for next summer. Even though there might not be a bigger update of the game, but having a big performance update for me would be a huge thing to make me go back and binge play it a bit more. Because honestly, the last couple of weeks in Isanapali have been 50% of the time waiting for my saves to happen. So, yeah.
Oh.
That's horrible. But, I mean, I guess it could also bring a new audience into the game and sort of renew this life that totally, Planet Coaster has. Because every game, of course, has its shelf life. And a Planet Coaster is noticeably, getting downhill. And there will always be that core community, and I think I can personally speak of being a part of that as well. Those people who will travel to Phantasialand every year to ride Terran for the 1500th time. These kinds of people are gonna stay with this, of course. But the console version might also bring some new people into the community who are otherwise interested in it, but don't have a PC that can play it. Like they might be on Linux or Mac, or just don't have a computer good enough to play it, and might only start getting into this on console. So I think there's also some possibilities there.
Yeah, I wonder how many people will actually play this on console. To be honest, I don't see people placing like this an enormous amount of sinewy items with like a controller. Maybe it's me, or I don't know.
Yeah, no, I agree.
The thing is, and funny enough, I just recorded a little bit of my opinion about this. And I found it interesting because at some points I am totally agreeing with you from my point of view, from my personal subjective point of view. But I'm always amazed by the fact how weirdly people behave playing console, what kind of games they play on it, and what kind of stuff they do. And I'm almost like, wow, that's awfully complicated, isn't it? So like, what are you doing even with them controllers there? But well, the people are doing it, and I guess it's some kind of also, it's more or less like a philosophy in a way. And I think if the translation of the I don't want to call this name, it's almost like the forbidden name, but the gizmo is working properly with the stick and stuff, I could imagine that people would do it and would get or become very, very good at it. So yeah, I've seen a lot of crazy stuff done on console, which I could not believe and I could never do. But I think there is a potential, maybe not in our little bubble of computer gaming, but out there in this weird world.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, I could see that. But then there's... Yeah, I mean, personally, I've been a bit harsh on this sort of transition as well, despite my words just now. There is always this kind of, PC master race versus console pleb war going on. And, whatever you think of it, I think simulation games and creative games like this tend to always be more on the PC gaming side of things. And I think there's certainly a place on consoles for games where you need to have a lot of control on like shooters and platformers, even though technically you do have an advantage if you're using mouse and keyboard. But the kind of games where you can actually lay back on a sofa and have some proper gaming sessions where you're not sitting in the same position as you're sitting in the office. But I don't know. I feel like these kind of games like Planet Coaster have always been less of console games, but I don't really want to judge it before it comes out. So
no,
there's also
that. From your core point, I 100% agree, to be honest. I would never, personally, for me, never do this and never think I could enjoy it. But I think what I just wanted to kind of show is that maybe if there are people that could also become a little bit of an advantage for the whole community, because it kind of brings in new ideas and stuff. But anyways, the one thing I was wondering is how the hell does this translate into the future? Because I even remember that the bosses of PlayStation and Xbox said that the next console will be the last gen, and then they will all be somewhat kind of a service for computers. So I think if you go to console, then you must go now, because afterwards it might be done, you know?
Yeah, right. I mean, that makes sense. I think consoles as a thing are also kind of something that exists from a period when computers weren't typically good enough to handle video games completely, and you needed to have some machine that could be, specifically run for video games and try to adapt it to video games. And now that computers have become so much more intricate, and now that you have controllers and things like this for computers as well, you can easily connect TVs to anything. What is really the point on a deep level for a console anymore?
Yeah, I do agree. That's totally true. And computers must handle a building like that, what operateur is just doing in the background. And I'm just losing my words here, because I'm just
Thanks
seeing
for the segue.
I'm just seeing pieces being slapped into this massive tower filled with pipes and screws and stuff. And I'm like, I just heard a little scream, and I thought my wife had an issue, but it was apparently my GPU looking at that.
Okay.
Damn, it is so good. But it's like so
That's
many
such
pieces.
a good point.
I was just like, okay, yeah, computers handle things, and oh my goodness, yes, they do. Maybe
this is gonna let any Xbox scream in disgust. That's for sure.
It's not that many pieces either, so it's mainly very big support pieces. But yeah,
that's
Right.
true, but it looks very, very awesome.
So could you actually talk a bit, to bring things back into topic a bit more, about what was your inspiration for this kind of Lifthill?
Yeah, basically it was I looked at pictures of like factories, old factories with like several towers and stuff. But yeah, it's not gonna be realistic in the setting that we have. So I don't think it makes a lot of sense to have this kind of tower in a tank factory. But yeah, it was like a combination of pictures. But then it eventually came out completely different than I envisioned in the beginning. So I guess, now we start on the video, but it's almost over now.
Oh my god.
Oh god, we are sorry for that again, but it looks dope. One thing I must point out quickly is I love how it moves together, or it works together with the little factory, or kind of fuel tank factory I made at the lakeside. It kind of resembles the same style. I believe I just see some pictures you used there. I can definitely tell which ones, and I don't mind actually that it might not fit into the context of the tank factory, because I think I moved a bit farther away because our initial thought was the factory idea, and I just love how this blends into it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's like combination or factories, so I don't think it's gonna be an actual story that's valid with all the several buildings together, I guess.
I personally also love the interaction that you sort of have with the scenery on the drop. It's a really unique kind of over-the-top structure. No matter what kind of thematic sense it does or doesn't make in terms of the factories around it, I do love it as a sort of ride interaction structure. It must be really cool to go down that drop like that.
Yeah, I totally agree. And I must say, if we look at it from the standpoint of a theme park and an attraction, that's kind of the tower and Sylph. It is definitely
it's a weenie.
Kind of,
it's
yeah,
a weenie.
thank you.
Yeah, I think it's the first weenie I ever made in Plant Coaster, to be honest.
Huh. Oh no, you've made some weenie-ish things. I mean, starting all the way back with Baron 1898, that Lifthill is undeniably full of weenie power.
It's more, recreations not included.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, then it's
Recreations of
gonna be
weenies
difficult.
not included. Let's leave it that way.
Okay, nice.
Oh god.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh wow. Can we make that the headline of this episode?
Recreations not included. Yeah,
Recreation
sure.
weenies not included, sorry.
Okay,
Yeah.
I will hold
Damn.
you to it, I guess.
Damn, that looks awesome. This shot is great.
Yeah, this is really cool. This shot is single-handedly going to destroy the climates, but you know,
Oh yeah.
those concerns aside, this looks really cool.
Oh, Greta doesn't like the video. Sorry for that.
So yeah, I guess we are out of footage now, but I will just say thanks for joining again in my video here, Silvarret Rudi.
Yeah, no
you're
problem.
welcome.
And for all the rest, thank you for watching. Give the video a like if you enjoyed it, and subscribe for more.
Remember to hit that notification bell as well.
Yeah, true. And the next video will be on my channel again because I have something queued up for soon.
That's so cool.
All right.
So yeah, thanks for watching, and see you.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.